Okay. So, your hat. I'm sorry.
Life.
I'm living my best life. I ain't going back and forth with y'all.
He's not going back and forth this week.
I'm not going back and forth with y'all. Starting February early.
Welcome back to the 4th Ask Serena Live After Show. I am amazed at the consistency of this group.
Let's go.
I don't think I was even this consistent back when I was rocking hard on my YouTube. Y'all making me
teamwork makes the dream work.
I'm telling you, you making
the whole accountability partners thing. Yeah, we gotta be in this together.
So I am Janine Truitt, and I am joined with, y'all just go ahead and introduce yourselves.
I am Sarah Morgan, the Chief Excellence Officer of Buzzaroonie LLC. What's up, everybody?
I am Dr. Paul McNeil. I'm the founder of MB Usable Security LLC.
I'm so sorry. I just can't with this hat.
You can't even take.
I can't even take you seriously. When you said doctor, I just couldn't even take you seriously.
I'm about to listen. I'm about to show you what the shirt says. I think it's like, hold on. Can you see this?
Twerk a cookbook.
Make them pages clap.
Out here. Listen.
Pertinent to our last discussion.
I'm just saying.
Yes, that is what's up.
I keep the same energy.
I see.
I love it. That's what's
you
up.
are looking like, so last week we were boho chic, and this week I feel like you're giving Canadian husband vibes.
Listen.
Lumberjack husband vibes.
Listen, I'm here.
Yeah, it's
I'm
like
ready.
Hunter husband.
Right?
I wanna but before we get started, because you ended the show talking about OSE and all these different things, I just want to put it out there. I support women. Okay.
Do you? Right, but here's the question, though. I know you support women, but the bigger question with regard to OSE is, do you support women's orgasms? That's
important.
It's important.
That's a very real question.
It's a very real question.
And there's a differentiator.
I support women orgasms. I'm pretty confident I can say I support that. I mean, and I think that from what you were explaining, that's like a whole messed up situation. Because the innovation is there, right? So, okay, it's applied to women orgasms, but there's still a lot of, virtual reality and augmented reality and technology, robotics or whatnot, that has to happen for that to even occur. So,
right.
Yeah.
If she had created something, artificial jack off, she would have kept her award. Like, let's be real. It's because it's because it wasn't focused on.
It's a fact. It's a fact because there were other exhibitors, and in fact, every year they've had exhibitors as long as AR and VR has been a thing for AR
That's
VR
fair.
porn.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Right.
I'll give you that.
So my thing was, if you're not, if you're just gonna say we're not taking sex tech at all, well, then you have a leg to stand on, right? Then she's got to find like an erotica show or something like that to demo it. But you're clearly taking other sex tech, but this one didn't make the cut. And you almost offered me an innovation award. So my shit is lit.
Fair.
I'm like, oops. We ain't mean that. That's that's the word.
I'm like, well, damn, did you give them a prototype? Because I would have just got all the women on the panel and been like, here's the OSE, go in a room, right? Go in a room and let me know if I still got this innovation award or not. I bet you kept it. I bet you should.
How many women were judges though? I think this just goes to, tech is not a very diverse space still, even with the strides, even with the discussions. So how many women were actually on there of influence on that panel? I don't know. I didn't look into it. I don't think
very many, to your point.
I would assume that it wasn't that many. And usually that's kind of what happened. Tech is still very white male dominated, so I'm not super surprised that some people would hate on it. I mean, I got my own comments here and there, but we're gonna keep that for the after show. I just feel like the judges are haters and they're not delivering on their own, and so
I agree.
I mean, I just like my thing is, in 2019, we can't still be prudes about orgasms, right?
I mean,
like grown adults, like why? Like we just can't be. For me, the orgasm aside, that she has created something in conjunction with a university that can mimic biology, tongues, fingers, and other things, I think is huge. Take the orgasm away from me. And just take that out. Just that alone is like, whoa, wow.
That's what got her the award. It's the fact that it's for orgasms that got it taken away. Yeah. The innovation is definitely there, but it's a bunch of haters who are like, oh man, I'm going to be useless at the house now.
They got hateration and they dance. That's what that is.
You know, look, everybody ain't able, so you got to hate and block when you're not able. So,
yes. I'm on the newsletter though, so
I want to get on the list. I need to be on that email list.
I'm just here for the male constituents. Somebody tuned in to support me. I put out a plea at the end of the show. I also brought this up early on so we could try to knock this out. You know, come on, guys, somebody.
Help your brother out. Help him out.
I support women. That's all I want to go on record as saying. There we go.
But you answered the most important question, and I'm so glad you answered appropriately. You are in support of women.
I am also glad. I'm also glad.
Thank you. Your stock went up so much right now.
I hope so, and I hope the hat helped to like calm things down a little bit.
Just a smidge, yeah. I think if you had the boho,
I started to tie it, but I was like, that's too much. We do it too much.
Tie it.
You're doing a lot.
Yeah, don't do it.
See, like had you had the boho chic thing going, it probably wouldn't have calmed anything down because you were giving like Maxwell vibes, Bilal.
Unless you tie it at the top, like if you tie it.
Like a bow, that would be really blurty. That'd be really blurty.
Yeah,
it would be. I've done it. I haven't worn it like that too many times. I usually wear it like this because I'm too lazy. But, you know, maybe halfway through. We hit the halfway mark. Maybe I'll go try to tie it.
So, guys, are y'all trying to get 8K TVs or not?
I mean, I like TV. So, I'm not going to – I don't know that I could be an early adopter on 8K because what am I going to watch?
Right.
Like the tech, you know, until they convert stuff to be able to work with them, I can't do nothing with it. So it sounds cool.
Right.
Thinking, you know, turning my living room into an IMAX. I mean, talk about cocooning. I ain't going nowhere.
Movie's about to be a wrap. Movie theater's going to be a wrap. When they figure this out and they get it right.
Yeah.
That's it.
Netflix is sitting over here, and we're gonna have them on lock with these interactive movies too. We're about to win.
I heard about those.
Yeah.
Who's done the Have you done it?
Yeah. The what was it called? It was on Netflix, but I did it. Where you kind of choose your own adventure type stuff. It was cool. My only criticism with it was it had too many options. I think they should have maybe had half as many options because it got tedious going back over and over and over and over again. I did every possible outcome because that's the kind of person I am. And I've been waiting on this for years. Well, I've been waiting on this forever because they had another company that was doing it. This is 2000, maybe like 2 or 3 years ago, and they were doing it just for like music videos. Trey Songz did a video where it was choose your own adventure type thing, and another rock group did one as well. I want to say Coldplay, but I could be wrong. But yeah, so I've been waiting on some major person to make it a movie thing, so I'm excited. I was really excited.
Yeah, I just, you know, it's like hard to fathom because like I said, I only came across 4K like a year and a half ago, and that was only because there's certain channels within think it's Pluto TV in specific.
Mm-hmm.
That one has a few 4K channels. I remember stumbling on it like, ooh, look at the pixelation on that.
Yeah.
You know, so like 8K is like blowing my mind. It's not even like 6, 8, like a whole quadruple extra of pixels. That's gonna be sick from movie watch.
Yeah, it's just gonna take time for everything to catch up with it. But we went through that with HD, and you still have people who have non-HD channels and that sort of thing, and you can see difference when you have to. And we were super comfortable with non-HD.
I was not. Once I saw HD, my eyes never readjusted. I had to stop watching television for a while.
You just once you do it, you can't go back. So it's one of those situations where we just have to kind of wait for things to catch up to it. But when it does, I think it's going to be dope. But I don't know that I'm going out spending like $3-4 grand on a TV and I can't watch nothing.
Nothing with screensavers.
Right. Fishbowl. Oh, right. Fishbowl. Like, who's doing that? No. So I'll take a pass on that.
We all chip in and buy the toilets instead.
I think the toilet for me was really pretty significant. I mean,
I don't know.
I don't know that I need a foot warmer.
The foot warmer. Okay, so the seat warmer.
Yes.
I'm down with. The bidet, I'm down with.
Yes.
Never did a bidet. Sounds fun though.
You should. Everybody
should do it.
Yes. It is cleanly loveliness. The Europeans had it right, and the Asians as well. Yeah. I don't know what we're doing over here with all this damn toilet tissue. It's just foolishness.
Hit them with that moist towelette. You in there?
Yeah, you got to get up on them flushable wipes. That's what we do.
Yeah, they cool, but
it's not a bidet.
Ain't nothing like some fresh water.
Really? So it's like
next level.
Like regular toilet paper, flushable wipes, bidet.
Yep.
Yeah, there's probably a level in between that, but yes, I would absolutely.
Okay, so I'm somewhere in that middle to lower, depending on my bank account that month.
Yeah, flushable wipes are a must. Like, we wipe babies with wipes, and then suddenly we learn to use. Yeah, and then we just stop. Like, who decided that should be a thing? I think we should continue. I think we get more complex as we get older. There's a lot going on, so you need. You would want that to. You would want the wipes. You need that more as an adult than you do.
You sure do.
As a little person, other than poop.
It's true because I mean, with my kids, once they did, the number 2 in the bath, you went. They would, like right away. So
which is essentially the bidet concept. Yeah.
Right.
So I'm with it, but I don't know if I need a foot warmer.
Doc, you look uncomfortable.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying y'all about to have me Googling bidets. I don't know. I've seen one in action. Now you talk about it's equivalent to a shower. Like, what is happening?
It's pretty amazing. I do have to say, the last man that I saw operate the bidet ended up with a wet shirt right before the club. It was rather comical. So you just let me know.
It could have been worse. It could have been the front
for how to use a bidet. It was the best ever.
Instruction.
Yeah, it's really not hard.
Got to have instruction. But no, I don't need a foot warmer. I remember I watched HGTV from time to time. I remember watching one of those shows where they had like heated marble tiles that they put
that
in somebody's house. And I was, on the one hand, I was like, that's dope. On the other hand, I was like, you can't just use a regular ad, like put some socks away, like that. But again, that goes back to the $7,000 conversation.
That's that suffrage mindset.
Exactly.
True. Liberate your mind, sister.
Yeah, I'm trying to get to the point where I have those kinds of options, and it does not matter to me one way or another what we do. Right now, I'm like, I'm hating. I'm hating just a little bit.
I'm gonna just wear these socks. Yeah.
Right. I'm gonna wear these socks, and that's
it's hard to fathom, you know, what it's like to spend that kind of money on some of those things. I mean, there's certainly certain things that I already know, like, there's no way. I remember back in the day watching Cribs, when, what's his name? Kamora's ex-husband.
Russell.
When they had their mansion together, and every damn thing in the house was gold. The sinks were gold. The countertops were gold. It was gaudy gold. It was just hard. And I was like, you know what? I don't give a crap if I ever build that kind of empire. There's no way in hell I'd ever spend my money on that. Like a game room, yes. A movie room, for
absolutely.
sure.
Got to have it. I got to have a library. Like
maybe even if I had stupid money, maybe even a bowling alley or some shit like that, just for shits and giggles. I don't know.
I saw on Real Housewives, one of the women on the show has a hibachi room in her house.
That's dope.
I was like, and she brings in a chef that cooks
with a wine cellar, with an enclosed wine cellar. Right?
Absolutely.
Tyrese rebuilt a Benihana in his backyard, like a small Benihana, and he hires a chef who worked at Benihana to come in like all the time. Like, he loves Benihana. Like, he does.
That's kind of cool.
I'm not mad.
If but I don't know. I would do ridiculous things. Like, Chappelle had that one skit where he was like super rich and he was eating dinosaur eggs and all that kind of stuff. And I saw that when I was younger, and I was like, I want a ball different like this. It was funny, and then it just, so like, everything I want to do is like I want to bring Cribs back specifically for my house.
For your house.
Like, if I had money, and then like cancel it again. Like, that's the kind of stuff I would do. I'd be like, just for today, just for me. This is how we're getting down. And then cancel it all over again. Like, you know, I got some other stuff. I'm not going to far here. But yeah, like, I got things I want to do that are crazy. I imagine having lots of money all the time. I buy mansions all the time in Nashville. They don't even know that they're mine. It's awesome.
Yeah, I think it happens every time the Powerball gets high, and you start to have that conversation with yourself about what you're gonna do if you get, you know, $600 million or whatever the amount is. Yeah. Well, my husband's gotten into scratch offs because, again, we watch HGTV, so that My Lottery Dream House show for the people win the lottery, but all of them people are winning money on these scratch offs, yo, like $5, $6, $10 million on a scratch off. So
wow.
Yeah.
Admittedly,
it's not working out too well for us. We won like $40. So
right. That's
the
empire. The empire.
I never did it. I went in and I was like, which one gets me money? And the guy just started laughing at me, and I was like, I'm out. I started off on a bad foot. These people is laughing at me. I don't know what I'm supposed to pick. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I'm out of here. So I don't belong.
Though. But you've already dipped your toe into the crypto world.
Oh, of course. Yes, most definitely.
So you'll dip your toe there, but not lotto?
But you won't do a scratch off.
Bruh.
Well, no, because I knew crypto was a bubble. I just, I was just trying to get in and out. I was upset because at the time crypto was on the rise, I was financially strapped. And I got money right at the end, right before. So I got some money, I doubled the money, and I was like, next week I'm going to pull it out. And then that week they changed all the laws and all the stuff fell. And I was mad because everybody else I had advised to jump into crypto had 5 times their money because they got in. Because Ponzi schemes, all that kind of stuff, you only lose if you stay till the end. If you get in and out in the middle and you're not greedy, you just win. So my friend put in $60 and came out with 400 or 500 in a week and a half. So I was like, cool, as long as they don't change the laws on me, I'm about to make this bank and run. But I got in a little too late. Got that check a little late. So I was like, But yeah, no. So I'll do stuff like that. But it was predictable because that was human behavior. It's kind of hard with the randomness.
So it's the randomness of those scratch offs that intimidates you.
Yeah, you can predict behavior.
Understand that.
You can predict behaviors. I knew everyone. Once my dad started asking me about crypto, I was like, oh, this is on its way out.
No.
I was like, oh, people are gonna start pulling. Like no, my dad is in his like 60s. My dad is older and he's not super tech savvy. So if he finds out about it, it means that it was on the news. If it's on the news, it's already too late.
Damn. That's sad.
So the hope is gone? Is that what we're saying about crypto right now?
No, not at all. I think so. From a technology standpoint, blockchain is going to be here for a while. In terms of the crypto, what's happening with crypto is all the banks have used all their wonderful lobby money to shut stuff down because they're secretly building their own stuff.
True.
That's like, and I wish I could be like that with super conspiracy theorists, but I know some people who work in banking and they're like, yeah, we got a division that's over here trying to make its own crypto for XYZ bank place. So, yeah, it's going to rise. I think it's just going to be interesting to see which one pulls through. I think Bitcoin is so large it might pull through, but it's not going to be standardized until the governments can figure out how to regulate and still backdoor or something like that. That's what they're trying to figure out.
But that you have the capability to use Bitcoin has always been curious to me. You know, so I mean, I'm on what's the thing? The one exchange Coinbase. Coinbase, right? So I'm on Coinbase, and I never really had an intention to jump in. I just wanted to watch because to me it was very risky. But of all of the cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, was the one. Ethereum too, but those are all fallen too, as well as Litecoin, like down to the wayside. I think my hope and prayer, and we had this discussion early on, was that this was going to be like, the disruptor of currency everywhere. Like my conspiracy in my head was like, because economists have been talking about the fall of the dollar for forever.
Yep.
So in my head, I was like, okay, is this the thing? Like, if you don't have Bitcoin, like now we can kind of like reset everybody from a wealth perspective. Like that was my mindset. Like, so those that have Bitcoin, like this is the new earth, the new whatever, new world order, and everybody else still on USD. Well, should have got a Bitcoin, at least one, like that was what I thought was going to happen. And actually would have been a fascinating experiment for generations to come.
I thought it would be interesting, but I didn't think that they would, it would completely replace the dollar because honestly, rich people generally don't like to allow those upsets to happen in that kind of way. You know what I mean? Like most of these recessions and stuff are rich people pulling their money out the stock market because they're freaking out that they're going to have to live like the rest of us, right? So they get liquid assets, they freak out, or the prices of stuff goes up and they don't have enough liquid to continue their lifestyle and all that kind of stuff. And so a lot of times those recessions mostly affect those upper echelons more. So like when I was in college and the 2008 thing hit, like I was still eating ramen anyway. So I was like, what recession? My bank account, I'm still out here like negotiating if I should buy these like groceries for my room. And like, well, if I buy all of this at once, it's only $135 overdraft fee. And I can make it back up next week when I get paid. You know what I mean? Like none of that changed. So it was like, recession what? I'm still living my life.
Your best life.
Your best.
Always. In this hat.
That's so ingenious.
In this hat.
It's true though. I mean, it's not us, the middle class or lower, that ever worries about recessions. It's the ones that never had to live like that are concerned. Like I'm always chill. I'm like, okay, if Trump fucks shit up, like let him fuck it up. Let it all reset. Like I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like it's whatever. But the people who have tons and tons of money, like, those are the ones that are like, I will throw myself off a bridge tonight if I can't get this out by X amount of time tomorrow. Like,
I'm always hyped when the market crashes because that's when you get like a change in wealth, right? Like in after the 20s, people who were super dirt poor came up with crazy money, even if it was from bootlegging and all that kind of stuff. There's always some kind of real cool loophole that happens in these gaps. So I'm just sitting over here chilling, trying to stack my little coins. Hopefully around summertime when everything goes awry, I have enough liquid to make some solid moves.
To the mountains. which you have to inform us about, what the code word is and all that.
Oh, yeah, I got that.
He ain't gonna be able to, he only gonna have 1G up in the mountains of Tennessee.
True that. Yeah, that's a problem.
You said we're gonna have one what?
You can have 1G. You ain't gonna have a 1G.
Yo, that, when I promise you, that flipped me the hell out. Like,
that's scary. Yeah,
it was scary because I didn't know how long the stretch was that I had to drive, and it was like a 9 hour drive, and it just went to G, and I'm like, oh God, please just let me get through these dang on mountains, like, because it was like Texas chainsaw land.
Where was this?
So this was along 80, like going towards Ohio, right? Because I was going to Pittsburgh, and I'm like, oh my God, this is wild. Like, what happens to me? Like, if I don't make it through, like, there's no phone call to make whatsoever.
Yeah.
And so after that trip, it was just cool that I had met with those people at Nokia and also Bell Labs that helped me understand why 5G is still a challenge for the US in terms of like our topography and geography and everything. The more densely packed and compacted you are, the better it works, apparently. Yep. And the more spread out you are, the more that's a challenge in terms of bandwidth. So like, we assume, like, I'm up here, we have 4G, that's like standard, so you just assume like in all other areas of the country that's happening as well. And it's just,
I'd be out of my mind, so I never assume that. Yeah. I'm a country boy, so I'm always like, well, it's cool, I got 4G, oh sweet. And then, it goes down to 3, and I'm like, all right, cool, we know where we're at.
I don't know nothing about that. I would flip.
I don't know about that.
For me, it's like, yo, I could take you to a spot 45 minutes outside of Nashville, and you get the G real quick. You get no signal. You don't even get a G.
Right.
I mean, it's like, it's cool. So that's interesting. It's interesting to hear that perspective.
Yeah. No. Cool. Totally.
But I wasn't surprised when you said that our infrastructure wasn't equipped, like our towers and all of that. That wasn't surprising to hear. I feel like nothing we have is equipped for the level of technology we think that we should be having. Like we got bridges collapsing. So we know our towers aren't ready for 5G. We can't even upgrade the streets that we have. So our railways, like all of that kind of stuff, like we're so behind when you look at other advanced nations. So it wasn't surprising to me. I think they'll want to do 5G, and we may, like you said, get it in a few areas. But yeah, I think you're going to see people going from like G to 2G, like, and feeling like they won the lottery. And but I just don't. I mean, I remember when we went from 3G to 4. Like that progression was slow for a lot of people. So I think that this is going to be slow as well. It's great to know that it's out there, but I don't think the vast majority of us are going to be able to tap into that anytime soon. It's always like you hear about all of this great technology and one of this coming, and it's wonderful, but the average person just can't tap into that anytime soon.
Yeah. I always found it fascinating that, anytime these things are happening, like Asia's got it on lock.
Always.
On lock, and
for years in advance.
Yeah.
Right. And
they've had video phones since the early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, when we were still rocking Nokia.
Facts.
Nokia.
You know what I'm saying? The candy bars. Sleep all day.
Wait, with the interchangeable cases. Did y'all?
Come on, somebody.
The interchangeable. I had the golds and the royal blue. Yes, Lord.
I just remember I had a Nokia phone for work. I went from a pager to a Nokia phone, and that thing was like 5 pounds. It was so heavy. I just remember it was so heavy.
Yeah.
I don't know nothing about that.
I remember the first phones. I remember my dad coming home with it. They were like gray, huge, and they all had this orange kind of, I guess, writing, if you will, but they were heavy as hell. It was like having a house phone, basically, those cell phones.
Yeah, it was.
And it was connected in the car, and it had a cord. It was...
Yeah, that Nokia phone was probably about the size of like a house cordless phone.
Correct.
Now.
Yep.
But easily twice as heavy. I just remember it was so heavy. And then it had that stupid antenna.
The antenna that was, yes. Oh my God.
Like, why is it just sitting there? And I had a dog, and my dog ate the antenna on my work phone. That was so embarrassing.
Damn it, Fido. Damn it.
So I'm sitting, but guess what? And I was like, well, I'll pay for it when I turn it in, or, if y'all take it from me, you gotta do what you gotta do. So I waited on it. I didn't, put some electrical tape around it, keep on moving.
Yeah, no.
So you had this huge phone with some electrical tape around it?
I was that chick. Yes, I was.
No different than, back in the day. I'm sure you can appreciate this, Sarah, with the TVs where you had to turn the channels.
Yeah.
After a while, the antennas used to not give you great reception, so we used to put foil on the tip.
Now, I've done that, foil and the hanger.
Yeah.
And you have like one person who's got to balance and try to watch while they,
Yeah.
I've done that.
I was more or less like, once it was on one channel, that was all it was, until remote controls happened. Like,
remote controls were a life changer.
It was a lifesaver, because if it was on channel 9, it was going to sit on channel 9.
I feel real young right now. I don't know none about what y'all talking about. I don't
remember life. Yeah,
this is life when rotary phones were around. When I was like this. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm out.
Yes.
I'm out.
Oh my God. Yeah. So, but like from a generational perspective, and you saying you're out, this is to the point I was making last week. This is why, for me, like being an older millennial, it's very different. It's very, very different than putting me in a bucket with somebody your age, not because there's any harm or foul, but it's like, that was my childhood. I called people on a rotary phone. I remember first got an answering machine. I remember my dad had a 45. My grandfather had an 8-track. Mm-hmm. So, which a kid from the 90s, it's like, you might know a 45, but certainly not an 8-track. Like, you probably never
I know both of them, but my parents are older. Like, that's what I was saying. Like, my parents, if my parents had me when I guess most of their peers were, I'd be like almost.
You're an outlier. Right.
Yeah, exactly. I'm an outlier. So I have some exposure, but like that phone's like that was like Saved by the Bell type stuff. Like, oh, reruns. Oh, look at the back of the day. Yeah, look at Tico. You know what I mean? Like, oh, okay, Dwayne Wade. I see you guys are prehistoric cell phone.
Wasn't that your persona? Wasn't that who you fashioned yourself after in the beginning?
No, it's still. I mean, I still say that. You know what I mean? What happened was they had the whole series on Netflix a year ago or 2 years ago, and I rewatched the whole series from start to bottom, and I think I hit like season 3, and I was like, ooh, I think I'm this guy now. And it was really funny because when I was little, it was one of the few non-PBS cartoon shows that I could watch. It was like that, The Cosby Show, and so it was funny that at a young age, I'm watching this guy, and I thought Dwayne Wade was super cool when I was younger and always like wanted to flip ups and all that kind of stuff. So then to fast forward to like 25, 26 and see that the images that I had seen at a young age, like I was a math major undergrad. I went to HBCU. I ended up getting a PhD. I stayed in because I was mentoring other people. And I was like, I can't quit now and just go get money because these kids are looking up to me. Like, it was like a lot of similarities that I didn't know. Yeah, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. So,
it's a good show. It's a solid
show. And he, on my personal Twitter, he liked when I said I was a real Dwayne Wayne at my graduation. I had a Hillman shirt underneath my gown.
I remember that.
And I posted it, and I was like, the real Dwayne. And he retweeted it. It was like, yes.
That's
winning.
So
I was like, winning. I had the flip-ups on and everything. It was cool.
That's dope.
And look at you now. Now you're a lumberjack.
And now I'm a lumberjack. That's right.
Well, we are in the last stretch, so what you guys got going on?
Black Blogs Matter. We are on week 3 of the theme challenge and about to kick off the microblog challenge for Black History Month. So I'm excited about that. Please check the Black Blogs Matter and Black Pods Matter hashtags for all the wonderful sharing that is going on with those 2 things. And yeah, that's it. That's the main thing. My podcast is still in development and will be launching mid-February, Leading in Color.
But you are a contributor to Black Enterprise now.
I am. I have not said that. Yes,
that needs to be known.
So that needs to be known. And my first article will drop in February. So I'm super excited. That's
very dope.
I feel like legit journalist now. Like, you
are.
Yeah,
you're not even a you don't even call yourself a blogger anymore. It's done.
You're not. You're a journalist. You got publication now.
Yeah, you're right.
I got credentials.
You got credentials.
Yeah, I got credentials. Yeah. So yes, all good things. 2019 is kicking off to a great start. January was a good year. It feels like the longest month ever.
It was a great year.
It's super long.
And Doc, what's up? What's new?
So let's see, MB Usable Security, we're working on launching a pilot of our multi-factor authentication software in the next month or 2, and also offering marketing analytics services and advice, I guess, to people in terms of how to keep their organization cyber aware.
Lovely. Well, thank you guys for joining us for another week. We'll be back next week with more shits and giggles and foolery per usual.
Yeah.
But you guys have a great one, and we'll talk to you soon.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.